Why do I go to Elmhurst College?
I'm close to everything.
I need a great school at a great price.
I'm learning about myself and my role in the world.
I love a challenge.
I'm dreaming big.
But feel totally at home. I want an education with meaning.
I want to be a champion for others. I made connections for life.
I'm ready for the real world. Why do I go to Elmhurst College?
To reach my full potential.
And we welcome you to beautiful Langhorst Field on the campus of Elmhurst College as we bring you Blue Jay Lacrosse. Gorgeous afternoon as the Blue Jays, their home opener, entertain the Spartans of Aurora University. We thank you so much for logging on to BlueJayTV.com. My name is Mark Kruger. Delighted to have you with us here this afternoon. Absolutely gorgeous afternoon for lacrosse. Temperatures in the upper 50s, sunny skies, winds out of the south at about 10 miles an hour, meaning it's going from the bottom of your monitor to the top of your monitor. Blue Jays in their home white with the Columbia blue numbers, and the Spartans, the starting lineup being introduced right now. They're in their traveling blue jerseys with the white number and the white Aurora written across the front of their jerseys. The Blue Jays come in with a mark of 0-5 on the season. Head coach Mark Morrell plays a very, very tough non-conference schedule, so they're hoping to get into the win column with their home opener here this afternoon. Meanwhile, the Spartans, 2-3 overall. They have yet to play a game in the Midwest Lacrosse Conference. Blue Jays, as I mentioned, coached by Mark Morrell. The head coach for the Spartans is Reed Mayberry. Starting lineups, first for the Spartans of Aurora University, Josh Boyko is a 5'10" junior attacker. Justin Gakin is a long stick mid. He is a 5'7" junior from San Diego, California. A couple other long stick mids, Ben De La Cruz, Connor Heft. Ryan Griffin is a midfielder, 6'3" senior from St. Louis, Missouri. In goal for the Blue Jay, or for the Spartans, is Phil Gianelli. He is a sophomore. He returns in goal. A very, very good goalkeeper. As a matter of fact, last year as a freshman, he was the Midwest Lacrosse Conference Rookie of the Year. So the Blue Jays are going to have a tough time getting through Gianelli here today. Also starting Ethan Heffel, the defenseman, and Mikhail Bayan is a 5'8" freshman attacker for Reed Mayberry. As for the Blue Jays of Elmhurst College, Russell Langston, the freshman midfielder, along with Jake Grebe. Both of those midfielders are freshmen. Marcus Yendall, an all-conference performer last year, is a junior. He's one of the leaders on this offensive side of the ball. Trent Neidberg, the junior defenseman, had a great year last year. Jake Delgado back in goal for the Blue Jays. He is in goal. Noah Monahan, Nick McClary, Braden King, and Tony Marbs round out the starting lineup for the Blue Jays. Nitin Rao, Bill Russell, and Dan Carroll are your three officials, and we are just about ready to go here in Elmhurst. Opening face-off, controlled by the Blue Jays, and off we go here this afternoon from Langhorst Field. Down on the ground, Yandal picks it up. Marcus sprints to the middle, throws it inside to the crease area, knocked away down on the ground, and the ground ball picked up by the Spartans. It's one of the problems the Blue Jays had on Tuesday in their loss against Hope is they did not possess the ball very well in the opening quarter. The Blue Jays coming off of a 18-8 loss at Hope on Tuesday. 4 15-minute quarters here in college lacrosse. And now AU, its first possession of the game. Buy-in over here to the near side. Tried to flip it over to Zach Bernstein over his head, and so the Spartans turn the ball over here. Marcus Yandal leads the Blue Jays in points with 17. Second on the team in goals behind Ben Luke, the freshman. Luke has 11 goals. Yandal has 9. Yandal with the ball right now here on the near side. Flips it up on top to Cullen Nordman. A couple of substitutions now in the game as they work it behind the cage now. To the far side is Sante Dabowski. And the ball is down on the ground, and it's going to be repossessed by the Blue Jays around midfield. Just underway, we've got a whistle, and it's going to be a turnover for the Blue Jays. It'll be Spartans' ball here. Just over 2 minutes gone by here in the opening quarter. No score between the Spartans and the Blue Jays. Elmhurst averaging 8 goals per game. Meanwhile, the Spartans averaging just over 12 goals per game here in the early part of the season. Blue Jays packing it in defensively. A zone defense here as the Spartans working around the perimeter. Up top here now is Zach Bernstein. Bernstein makes the pass inside. The flip shot is no good by Josh Boyko, and the follow is off and just over the crossbar. Josh Boyko almost with the goal for the Spartans. AU retains possession. The Blue Jays and the Spartans. AU has won all 6 of the previous meetings against the Blue Jays, so Elmhurst looking for their very first win against the Spartans. Great game last year between these two teams. AU winning 7-6. Shot on goal, that one is off by Bernstein. But AU picks up the ground ball and they retain possession. 7-6 was the final last year. The Blue Jays, in the final seconds of that ball game, had a great chance to tie it up. They had a couple of shots in the crease area, but Philip Gianelli, the goalkeeper for AU, came up with a huge goal that preserved the victory for Aurora University. Shot and a save by Delgado. Shot on goal that time by Jameson Morrison. So we take another look at it here. Morrison with the spin, the shot, and the nice save. Now the Blue Jays on the attack here. Nordeman now waits for substitution to come in. Coming in is Nate Uhas, number 15. Also coming in now is Jake Grebe at number 3. Blue Jays work it behind the cage. Now over here to the wing to Uhas, and they bring it up on top here to Nordman. Now check that. That's Blake Dixon, number 4, as he brings it behind the cage. Shot on goal by Nate Uhas, and a save nicely done by Gianelli. Phil Gianelli, 61 saves on the season. That was save number 62. Goals against average 14.59 for him. For Delgado, he's had 52 saves coming into today. Goals against average 12.85 for the Blue Jays goalkeeper. Stoppage of play here. 10:01 remaining here in the opening quarter. Got our first penalty. And it's going to be a penalty against Ben Luke, the freshman attacker for the Blue Jays. So a man-up situation here for AU, and a timeout taken. .30 seconds on a push by Ben Luke. So a timeout taken on the field here with 10:01 remaining here in the opening quarter. No score here between Elmhurst and Aurora University. Mentioned the Blue Jays have yet to win in 5 meetings so far this season, all road games. Start off the season losing to Ohio Northern at 9-5, then a tough loss on February 16th versus Capital. Blue Jays lost in overtime in that game, 13-12. Lost to Albion, 12-5. Ohio Wesleyan, 14-10, and then they lost on Tuesday against Hope, 18-8 was the final in that one. So it's the home opener here this afternoon for the Blue Jays, taking on the Spartans of Aurora University. I mentioned the Spartans 2-3. Their 2 wins coming against Augustana to start the season. 10-8 was the final in that one. And then they also beat Johnson and Wales on March 1st. 29-1 was the final in that one. Their 3 losses to Illinois Wesleyan, Colorado College, and also to John Carroll a couple days ago on March 5th. So this is the 3rd CCIW opponent that Aurora University has played this season. I mentioned the win against Augustana, the loss to Illinois Wesleyan. They will take on North Central on March 14th. So after the timeout, Aurora University with the ball. Up top is Morrison. Morrison over here to the wing. Now back up top to Morrison. Nothing there. Pretty good defense by Nyberg. And there's a shot at the point, and that is good. Shot by Jamison Morrison. Wow, that was from about 15 yards out. And the goal for AU. Take another look at it here. You see Morrison takes the shot, and it gets through Delgado. And so AU takes the early lead here. 9:35 remaining here in the opening quarter. And AU leads it by a score of 1-0. James Morrison, that's his 9th goal of the season. He's the leader for the Spartans in goals. He's also the leader in points as well, with 15 coming into this afternoon's game. 27 shots for Morrison, so he puts Aurora University on top. And coming right back and scoring for the Blue Jays is Ben Luke. So it took the Blue Jays just 11 seconds to tie the game up as Ben Luke gets the goal. Take another look at it here as the freshman attacker from North Bend, Washington gets the goal. Great possession there in the crease. Catches, turns, and spins, and gets the goal. And that face-off is still down on the ground, and it's picked up by the Blue Jays. Well, now it's still on the ground, picked up by Aurora University. So the Spartans technically get that opening face-off. And now the off-the-ground ball, it's Dybowski sprinting on the far wing, and he'll work it behind the net here. Tied at 1 here between the Blue Jays and the Spartans. Curling around and making the pass was Luke. And that one is in. That's going to be a goal. Blue Jays get the goal. I believe that's Dybowski that's going to get the goal, number 18 for the Blue Jays here. 8:47 remaining. And so 2 unanswered here for the Blue Jays, and it's now 2-1. So you take a look at the shot by Dybowski. It goes through the wickets of Gianelli. And so now the Blue Jays take the lead here, 2-1. Elmhurst a year ago finished 11-6, 5-1 in the CCIW. That was good for second place. The Spartans were 13-4 last year. They also finished in second place in the Midwest Lacrosse Conference. They went 10-1 in their league. So two very good programs battling it out here this afternoon. Blue Jays, after trailing this game 1-0, couple of unanswered goals here. One by Luke, one by Dybowski, and the Blue Jays lead it 2-1. Morrison makes the move, loses control of it, and the Blue Jays get the ball on the turnover. Right into the wickets of Toby Marbs, the defenseman, the 6'4" sophomore from Chesterfield, Missouri, comes up with the turnover. McClary has it now for the Blue Jays as they work it up on top now. Coming in and taking the shot and scoring is Andrew Lentz. 3 unanswered goals now. Andrew Lentz with his second goal of the season. You see him come up and kind of nonchalantly, nobody comes out on him, takes it and gets the goal. So Andrew Lentz, the senior, the 5'10" senior from Walnut Creek, California. And now 3 unanswered goals here for the Blue Jays, and it's now 3-1. Great start to this game here for the Blue Jays. Again, giving up a goal to James Morrison. 3 unanswered, though. And now, off the face-off, it's the Spartans now on the attack. Diaz flips it off to Brimberry. Now working behind the cage is Byen. Well, now he stops and comes back, flips it back over to Brimberry. And now they work it up top here to Young. Luke Hill brings it behind the cage here for the Spartans. Coming out now, Braden Toll. And just getting clobbered there was Luke Hill. No call, ball down and into the hands of Delgado. So another nice defensive play for the Blue Jays. Very aggressive on defense, and they get the ball back. Trent Nyberg with that long stick goes up and grabs it. Blue Jays now on the attack. Langston flips it over to Yandal. And Marcus is going to run behind the net. They work it to the far side. 3-1 Blue Jays here. 6:25 to go here in the opening quarter. Yandal flips it to the far wing, and now they bring it up top to Nordman. Nordman takes the shot, and a nice save by Gianelli. And now Aurora University coming up. Ground ball coming up and making the play defensively, Trent Nyberg, but Aurora University does get control of it. Up top is Kellen Mazinski. And now it's Morrison. AU works it behind the cage. Kennedy, I should say. Flipping it ahead here is Bernstein. Now they work it up top. Morrison. Good defense by the Blue Jays, and that pass is picked off. Picked off by Andrew Lentz. Lentz brings it into the offensive zone for the Blue Jays. Elmhurst looking to win for the first time this season and also looking to beat Aurora University for the first time as they cough it up and they turn the ball over. Penalty marker down. De La Cruz brings it into the offensive zone as he flips it down to Hill. And Hill will sprint it up to the top. Again, penalty marker is down here. Mozinski flips it back to Morrison. Morrison to Bernstein. Bernstein on the attack, shoots just wide to the right, and there's the whistle. It's going to be a hold here. And coming out is going to be Ben Luke. So the freshman will take a knee, and it's a man-up situation here for Aurora University. AU has converted 40% of man-up situations here. So Luke takes a knee, and now an opportunity for the Spartans. Take advantage of this man-up situation here. AU with the ball trailing by 2, 3-1. 4:20 remaining here in the opening quarter. Boyko behind the cage. Now this is Kennedy. AU pretty patient, working it around the perimeter. Morrison decides to stay to the far side, now back up top. Tried to pass it inside. Ball is down on the ground, and it's recovered by the Spartans. So AU getting the ground ball opportunity. Morrison flips it there to the far wing to Toll. Back to Morrison. Morrison, who had the opening goal in this game for AU, but since his goal, the Blue Jays have scored 3 straight. Kennedy trying to get out from behind the cage, guarded toughly by Lentz. Kennedy brings it behind the cage again to Bozinski. Shot on goal, and we're going to have a penalty marker down, as getting that shot on goal was Dylan Lyman. Lyman went down hard. Let's take another look at it here. See Lyman getting the ball. Quick shot, the wrister, and yeah, he goes down. And they're going to hit Tony Marbs with the penalty. So Marbs, third penalty against the Blue Jays. Hit to the head, that's a 1-minute penalty. So, boy, a great opportunity here for the Spartans. Another man-up situation here. Just under 3 minutes remaining here in the opening quarter. Tony Marbs with a hit to the head. The 6'4 sophomore is going to sit down or take a knee for a minute here. Spartans have yet to take advantage of a man-up situation. The Blue Jays have played solid defense here in this opening quarter. 2:45 remaining. There's a shot on goal, and that one is wide. Spartans will repossess this one. Mac Harden, Langston, Marcus Yandel, Andrew Freerich, all conference performers from a year ago. Mac Harden now an assistant coach for Mark Morrell. He's an All-American a year ago, one of the best players that I have seen in lacrosse. There's another nice stop by Delgado. Ball down and a loose ball around midfield here. Reset the shot clock here. Under 2 minutes remaining here in the opening quarter. And they work it back to the goalkeeper, Delgado. He comes up and flips it over to Nick McClary. McClary ahead to Moran. Ryan. Good patience here for the Blue Jays. Well, now we got a whistle here and a timeout taken here by Mark Morrell and the Blue Jays. 1:33 remaining here in the opening quarter. Timeout taken by Mark Morrell. Well, we got an opportunity here. We obviously would like to congratulate John Baines and the Elmhurst College men's basketball team for getting to the Sweet 16 of the NCAA Division III tournament after they knocked off Grove City in the second round, 84-66. So that means the Blue Jays will be hosting that Sweet 16 game, and we will bring it for you live here on BlueJayTV.com this Saturday from R.A. Fagana Hall. They'll take on Pomona Pitzer, team from California, 5 o'clock this Saturday, live from R.A. Fagana Hall. That big win against Grove City. Jake Rohde had a huge game, 33 points for Jake Rohde in that ball game. So a great season for John Baines and his club. Levon Thomas, Jay Militello, Derek Dotledge, and the rest of that team. Congratulations to them for winning back-to-back NCAA tournament games. First time in the school's history that has happened. If you recall, the 2001 Blue Jay basketball team did make it to the Sweet 16, but they had a first-round bye in that tournament. So back-to-back NCAA tournament wins for the Blue Jay basketball team, and we'll see them again this Saturday night at 5 o'clock, Sweet 16 round, live from R.A. Fagnall Hall. So make sure you log on to BlueJayTV.com this Saturday. 5 o'clock will be the opening tip-off. Here at Langhorst Field, final moments of this first quarter winding down here. The Blue Jays, with 3 unanswered goals here in the first quarter, lead it by a score of 3-1 as they're looking for their first win of the season. Home opener here from Langhorst Field. Nordman now is going to work it around here to the near side. Dybowski gets the goal. Sante Dybowski with his second goal of the game. And that makes the score 4-1 in favor of the Blue Jays. Goals number 4 and 5 for Sante Dybowski this season. So it is now 4 unanswered goals for the Blue Jays. 1:06 remaining here in the opening quarter. Great start to this one, which is exactly what head coach Mark Morrell wanted. Not a good start on Tuesday against Hope College as they found themselves trailing 8-1 at halftime against Hope and eventually lost 18-8 against the team from Holland, Michigan. Various substitutions here now for the Spartans as we are under a minute to go here in this opening quarter. Mozinski, nothing there, and they'll bring it up top to Morrison. Bernstein has it now, guarded by Moran. They work it behind the net. Jake Delgado has been very, very well in goal for the Blue Jays. Picking up that loose ball there was Kennedy. Final 10 seconds of the quarter. That shot is deflected and it's picked up by Nyberg. Do the Blue Jays have enough time here? Nyberg across midfield, spins, loses control, and that's going to end the opening quarter of play. So a good start here for the Blue Jays as they lead it by a score of 4-1 at the end of the first quarter. So take another look at the shot there. The wrister gets through, and the second goal of the opening quarter by number 18, Sante Dybowski, and the Blue Jays lead it by a score of 4-1. So it was James Morrison who got the scoring underway for Aurora University with 9:35 to go in the first quarter. He scored to make the score 1-0 Aurora University, but then 4 straight goals by the Blue Jays, one by Ben Luke, a pair by Sante Dybowski, and also a goal by Andrew Lentz. And the Blue Jays lead it here by a score of 4-1 as we are getting ready for second quarter action. Go through the list of the CCIW conference. A little different than the teams in the CCIW in basketball and football. The teams in lacrosse in the CCIW: Carthage, Illinois Wesleyan, North Central, Dubuque, Augustana, Carroll, and of course the Elmhurst College Blue Jays. CCIW conference has yet to get underway, but Carthage off to a good start at 4-0. Illinois Wesleyan, always tough. Good start for the Titans. They are 4-1. North Central 2-1. Dubuque 2-2. Augustana is 1-4. And Carroll and Elmhurst has yet to win a game so far here in the young season. Conference home games for the Blue Jays will be April 1st against Illinois Wesleyan. That will be the conference opener. That'll be a 7:30 start time. They'll have North Central here at Langhorse Field on April 8th. And then Dubuque on April 25th. That will be a noon face-off. Those are your 3 conference home games. The 3 road games in conference. April 4th at Augustana, April 11th at Carroll, and then April 15th at Carthage. Braden King and Ryan Griffin with the face-offs here as we get set for second quarter action. Again, the Blue Jays up by a score of 4-1. Ball still on the ground, and it is going to be finally possessed by the Blue Jays. So the opening face-off was controlled. Braden King actually got possession of another score. Score by Russell Langston with just 19 seconds into this opening second quarter. And it is now 5-1 in favor of the Blue Jays. Take another look at it here. Russell Langston. Unassisted goal, and that gets through Gianelli. Russell Langston, with his 3rd goal of the season, had 4 points, 2 goals, 2 assists, and 16 ground balls. Leads the team in ground balls coming into today's game. He gets the goal, his 3rd goal of the season, and things are looking good. Russell Langston, only a freshman from Friendswood, Texas. So 5 unanswered goals now for the Blue Jays. Elmhurst leading at 5-1. This one is going to trickle out of bounds, and it's going to go to the Spartans. Mozinski flips it up top to Morrison. Now back to Mozinski. 5-1 Blue Jays here in their season home opener. Over the years, the Blue Jays have played very, very well here at home at Langhorse Field. And a great start to this one here this afternoon. Taking the shot and wide just to the right there was Zach Bernstein, the 6-foot freshman midfielder from Woodbury, Minnesota. Take another look at it here. The shot by Bernstein wide to the right. Spartans repossess the ball, however. Up top here now is Canaday. And Canaday will flip it behind the cage to Toll. Not handling that pass was Mozinski, but it's picked up by Morrison as he gets the ground ball. Flips it over to Bernstein. Back to Morrison. Opening moments of the second quarter. Blue Jays on top, 5-1. Bernstein, checked by Lentz. Bernstein takes instead passes it behind the net to Toll. Shot and the save by Delgado. Beautiful right leg save. Take another look at it here by Delgado. Extending that right leg, deflecting it. Good play by the goalkeeper. Boys, I mentioned earlier, 2 very fine goalkeepers in Delgado and Gianelli. But the Blue Jays have scored 5 goals already on the sophomore goalkeeper for AU. Canaday now at the point. Makes the move, gets pushed out now, and they bring it behind the net. Toll will switch positions here with Canaday. Toll banging, now he releases it to Bernstein, and they bring it back out on top. Morrison, good defensive possession here for Elmhurst. Morrison trying to get into the crease. Denied, and he'll step back out. Gives it to Mozinski. And now this is Bernstein. Far wing, Morrison faked the shot, instead gets inside. Another save by Delgado. Picked up by Elmhurst. Delgado with another beautiful save. Marbs flips it back to Delgado, and Delgado will toss it to the far side there to McClary. 11:20 to go here in this first half. Blue Jays lead it by a score of 5-1. As I mentioned earlier, don't let that 0-5 record fool you. This is a very good Blue Jays team. They had some very, very tough non-conference competition, which is what Mark Morrell likes to do with his schedule to get his team ready for the tough CCIW conference. And again, another good non-conference battle here with Aurora University. Uhas looking, now he makes the move into the crease area, got cut off, spins, turns, shoots, and it's wide, just to the right and high, but the Blue Jays will retain possession here. Good move that time by Nate Uhas, the 6-foot sophomore from Ann Arbor, Michigan, and now a stoppage of play here. They want to reset the shot clock to 15 seconds. 10:19 to play on the game clock. So 15 seconds on the shot clock here for the Blue Jays. Yandal's shot saved that time by Gianelli, and now AU with possession. Gianelli flips it up to one of his defenders. And another turnover for AU. Boy, that's a number of turnovers for the Spartans here in this first half. Give a lot of credit to the Blue Jay defense here. They've played tough. Nordman now at the point here for Elmhurst. Just under 10 minutes to go here in the first half. Freerich now on the wing here. All-conference performer a year ago. Gives it to another all-conference performer, Yandal, from a year ago. Nordman slips, gets back up. Yandal comes out from behind the cage, ball down on the ground, but it's picked up by the Blue Jays. Grebe takes the shot wide to the left. Blue Jays retain possession here. New shot clock coming up on the 9-minute mark of this first half. The pass inside, another shot, and a goal by Dybowski. Give the assist to Cullen Nordman, and it's Dybowski getting his third goal of the game. So give the assist to Cullen Nordman, a third goal of the game for Sante Dybowski. Came into the game with 3 goals, now he has 6. So he has doubled up on his goal production this season. And now 6 unanswered goals by the Blue Jays. It is now 6-1, and if you're head coach Mark Morrell, you have to be awful pleased with the way his Blue Jays have performed so far here this afternoon. By the way, the other assistants, I mentioned Mac Harden, Carter Meyer, and Garrett Rosiak are the other assistants under Mark Morrell. Reed Mayberry, the head coach for Aurora University, his assistants, Joe Lapapalo and Sam Hiss. So AU's only goal came with 9:35 to go here in the first quarter. That goal by James Morrison. Since that goal, they have been shut out. Give a lot of credit to this Blue Jay. Oh, Dybowski looking for number 4, and he's got it. What a game so far by Sante Dybowski, his 4th goal of the game.
Scoring again for your Blue Jays, number 18, Sante
Dybowski, there you see it, goes lower right. Give the assist to Marcus Yandal. Yundal with his 9th assist of the season, and a timeout taken by Aurora University. Sante Dybowski is having the game of his life. He's got 4 goals already, and we're still in the first half. A couple of nice assists for his last 2 goals. Marcus Yundal with the assist here, and then previously it was Cullen Nordman with the assist. So now 7 unanswered goals here for the Blue Jays. Mentioned last year, the Blue Jays with a couple of All-Americans, a couple of All-Region performers, Mac Hardin and Eric Langston. First time in Blue Jay history that has happened. Of course, 2 years ago, the Blue Jays had their best ever season. 13-3 overall. At one point, they rattled off 9 straight victories. Finished second in the CCIW 2 years ago. Finished second in the CCIW last year. Can the Blue Jays break through and get a CCIW conference championship this year? But again, it's going to be awful tough. Carthage is going to be tough. Illinois Wesleyan is always tough. Boy, I remember a game last year when Illinois Wesleyan came to town. They had like 70 or 80 players on the team. It was like a football team. Just had a whole army of players on their lacrosse team. Face-off won by the Blue Jays, so they are in possession here with 8 minutes remaining here in this first half. If you just logged on, 7-1 in favor of the Blue Jays as they're looking for their first win of the season. Uhas flips it to Blake Dixon. Yandal's pass is deflected, and it's going to go out of bounds off of an AU player, so it'll be Blue Jay ball. Dixon makes the move. Shot hits the left post. And it's going to be scooped up by Joseph Day, but he goes down, and it's going to go out of bounds to the Blue Jays. So the Spartans cannot clear, and the Blue Jays will repossess the ball here. Dixon now at the point. We are at the 7-minute mark of this first half. Dixon cradling it, and they'll bring it behind the cage. Yandal flips it, and the sidearm shot is no good by Ben Luke, saved by Gianelli. Another look at it here. Luke with the catch and shoot, sidearms it, and the save by Gianelli. Still 7-1 Blue Jays. Yandal now retreats and flips it behind the net. And that shot by Uhas. Another save by Gianelli. Couple good shots on goal that time on that possession for the Blue Jays, but give some credit to Philip Gianelli, the goalkeeper. Couple of nice saves. Boy, if you're head coach Mark Morrell, you have to be awful pleased with his Blue Jays so far here today. Defense has been solid. Good balance on offense. Of course, the big story on offense, though, Sante Dybowski with 4 goals so far today for Elmhurst. Blue Jays doing a good job of not allowing the Spartans with good looks. Well, coming around and curling around and getting the shot off and scoring is Braden Toll. Braden Toll, unassisted, gets the second goal of the game for AU. You see him come out from behind the cage here. You'll see Braden Toll, the 5'10 senior from Lewisburg, Pennsylvania, kind of curling around, and it gets through Delgado to make it 7-2 in favor of the Blue Jays. So that stops the 7 unanswered streak for Elmhurst, the 7-goal unanswered streak. 5.5 minutes left, first half, 7-2 Blue Jays. Ball up in the air, still down on the ground now, not possessed by either team yet. Who's got it? We got a whistle, and they're giving the ball to AU, so the Spartans get that face-off. Toll now with the ball. Flips it off to Morrison. Bernstein falls down onto the ground, slipped, loose ball, picked up by Canaday. Now to the point, here is Toll. Bernstein behind the net for the Spartans, trying to make the same move, and it is successful. So Bernstein makes the same move as Braden Toll did a moment ago, and Bernstein gets the goal.
Scoring for the Spartans, number 12, Zach Bernstein.
So Zach Bernstein getting the goal, third goal of the game, and it's now 7-3. So a couple of quick goals here back-to-back for the Spartans, and it is now 7-3. Favor of the Blue Jays. King and Griffin on the face-off, and before they release the ball, we've got a timeout taken here by Mark Morrell and the Blue Jays. Pretty good timeout here as he sensed the momentum starting to shift a little bit as the Spartans with a couple of quick goals here at the 5:30 mark. Goal by Braden Toll, his 8th goal of the season. And then just moments later, just a moment ago here, the goal by Zach Bernstein, his 7th goal of the season. And the Spartans are within 4. 7-3 in favor of the Blue Jays. See Bernstein come out from behind the cage. That same move that Toll made a moment ago, that curl move around the corner, and he puts it in, got by Delgado, and it is now 7-3. That 18-8 loss on Tuesday against Hope. Cullen Nordman had a couple of goals for the Blue Jays. Ben Luke had a couple of goals and an assist. Nate Uhas had a goal and an assist. Marcus Yandal with a goal and 2 assists. Jacob Delgado had 13 saves in that loss against Hope. The Blue Jays won just 39% of the face-offs in that game, but they've done a much better job in the face-off category here this afternoon. So it'll be King and Griffin again on the face-off here. 4:36 remaining here in this first half. See if the Blue Jays can get possession of this face-off and try to stop the momentum shift here. King and Griffin still battling for it, and it's AU winning that face-off. However, they lose it. They turn it over. Yandal in possession with the ball now for Elmhurst as he sprints here to the near side, down towards the goal line. Flips it up, and the goal is good by who else? Sante Dybowski. Second assist of the game for Marcus Yandal. Goal number 5 by Dybowski. And a much needed goal as you see Yandal with a beautiful pass and the shot by Dybowski. 5th goal of the game for Dybowski comes with 4:13 remaining. Just 23 seconds after Aurora University scored its third goal. Dybowski scores his fifth of the game. Yandal with another assist, and now the lead is 8-3 Blue Jays. Big goal for Elmhurst. And that win possessed by Aurora University. So the Spartans get another face-off win as we are at the 4-minute mark of this first half. As I mentioned, the Blue Jays trying to knock off AU for the first time ever. Their 0-6 lifetime against the Spartans, including a tough 7-6 loss last year in Aurora. Bernstein in possession now, jogging now, sprints to the center. Passes it off to Canaday. His shot hits the post, and the ball is going to go out of bounds. It'll be AU ball here. Taking the shot and saving it is Delgado. The shot on goal by Josh Boyko. Another save for Delgado. Delgado with the ball now. Gives it off to Nyberg. Nyberg ahead to Langston. Langston, who has a goal here in this first half. Now to Yandal on the far side, and he's going to come behind the net here. Yandal to Dybowski. Top is Freerick. Blue Jays with a 5-goal lead here, 8-3. 2.5 minutes left here in the first half. Story has been Sante Dybowski. 5 goals so far on the game for Sante. He came into the game with just 3 goals. So the 5 goals now gives him 8 on the year. Two minutes left here in the first half. Here's Dybowski. He's been the story as they bring it up on top. 5 goals in the first half for Sante. Yandal flips it out on top. Grebe. He got cut off. Now decides to take the shot, and the save going behind the net now and repossessing is Freerich. Boy, Dybowski at the point. They're leaving him open. He's got it right now. Oh, he dropped it and repossessed. Well, yeah, he did get it back. Here's Grebe. Grebe has a shot and he scores. Jake Grebe unassisted here with just 55 seconds remaining here in this first half. Jake Grebe gives the Blue Jays a 9-3 lead. Grebe, a 6'3" freshman from St. Louis, Missouri, getting the goal. His first goal of the season. So it's 9-3 in favor of the Blue Jays. Just 55 seconds remaining here in this first half. Jake Grebe gets the goal for the Blue Jays. So AU had 2 quick goals here in the second quarter. The Blue Jays responded with 2 quick goals of their own. Lead is back up to 6. Great way to end the first half for Elmhurst with a couple of goals here. It is now 9-3 Blue Jays. Again, so far this season, the Blue Jays average just 8 goals per game. They've already got 9, and we're still in the first half. AU clears it here. Now back into the game is Morrison. He's got the ball. Morrison will bring it behind the net. Morrison trying to curl around. He gets the shot off. Delgado with the save. Another great save by Jake Delgado here. 7 seconds to go in the half. Nyberg just whips it ahead. And that's going to end the first half. Halftime here at Langhorst Field. The Blue Jays lead it by a score of 9-3. Let's take another look at the final goal of the first half. Jake Grieb gets it behind Philip Gianelli, and that's the 9th goal of the first half for the Blue Jays. 9-3 Elmhurst here at the break. You are logged on to BlueJayTV.com.
Why do I go to Elmhurst College?
I'm close to everything.
I need a great school at a great price.
I'm learning about myself and my role in the world.
I love a challenge.
I'm dreaming big.
but feel totally at home. I want an education with meaning.
I want to be a champion for others. I made connections for life.
I'm ready for the real world. Why do I go to Elmhurst College?
To reach my full potential.
Scotty Williams takes his place in the Hall of Fame as the most decorated football player in Elmhurst College history. From 2009 to 2012, Williams rewrote the Elmhurst record book, cementing his place as one of Elmhurst's all-time greats. A 4-time All-Conference selection, Williams earned first-team All-Conference honors for 3 straight years from 2010 to 2012. He set a single-season rushing record in 2010, only to break it in 2011. During his senior year in 2012, Williams torched his own record again, rushing for 2,046 yards and 22 touchdowns while leading the Blue Jays to the NCAA playoffs for the first time in school history. Named the CCIW's Offensive Player of the Year in 2012, Williams finished his career with 5,203 yards and 50 rushing touchdowns, breaking the previous rushing record by more than 1,600 yards. Tim Lester, now the head coach at Western Michigan University, was the Blue Jays head coach for all of Williams' time at Elmhurst. Lester knew he had someone special in Williams.
Scotty was a special running back talent-wise. I mean, low center of gravity, great feet, great drive, great ball security. But his ability to keep his balance. I mean, there were times that he would disappear behind his O-line, which was huge. And he wouldn't go down. For a little guy, he ran like a big back, and it was fun to watch.
Chris Kirkpatrick was an all-conference and all-regions center for the Blue Jays during the Williams era, and he knows how important Scotty was to the success of the team.
Scotty would tell you that he was a cog in the machine, and that goes back to his humble attitude towards things. Scotty was so important to our success. As we became juniors, seniors, Scotty was no longer just the stud player that was quiet and worked hard. He became vocal. Not many people know that. He was the voice in the huddle. And that voice coming from the best player and arguably best person on the team, that led us through some of those tough games.
Elmhurst College's Director of Sports Information, Kevin Juday, covered Williams from the press box. He witnessed firsthand just how hard he was to stop.
No matter how hard an opponent tried to key on Scotty to slow him down, it just was really too difficult for them to stop him. There was a game against Illinois Wesleyan on a 4th and 1 just inside the Illinois Wesleyan 40-yard line, and Elmhurst decided to go for it. Everyone in the stadium knew that Scotty Williams was going to get that ball, and Illinois Wesleyan stacked 11 guys in front, goal line defense, and Scotty just blew right past everybody, broke a tackle, was off to the races, and Elmhurst was off to the playoffs.
Lester remembers the same play as well, but for a different reason, as the play elicited some rarely seen emotion from Williams.
Got in the end zone. He did one of these, which was hilarious because I've never seen him show any emotion when he scores. And normally the line showed the emotion. He just ran over and hugged all the big boys. But when he showed a little bit of swagger for the first time in his 4 years there, it made me laugh, made me smile, made me think that he was having a ton of fun at that moment to get the ball in the biggest moment to accomplish our goal. And he popped one and then, had a little fun in the end zone, which I'll never forget.
Williams' success in 2012 culminated in him taking home All-America honors and becoming the first Elmhurst player to win the Ghilardi Trophy, an award honoring the top player in Division III football.
To win the Ghilardi Trophy, you have to be a great player, a great student athlete, and a great human being on top of it. And Scotty Williams checked every single one of those boxes. Everyone knew about what he was doing on the field that year, but he was also an academic All-American, and he was also actively involved in Habitat for Humanity and several other service groups. And he was one of the most humble student athletes I've ever met in my time at Elmhurst.
As humble as Williams was, Kirkpatrick also remembers Scotty joking around with his teammates.
Our senior year against Milliken, which was kind of a fabled game for us as we had to go into overtime and overtime again, and Scotty broke loose for a 99-yard touchdown run. We had given him a lot of grief over the years, including Coach Lester, about getting what we called hawked in the open field, caught in the open field, and he wasn't letting himself get caught that day. And after he scored that touchdown, as humble as he is, he was letting us know that he didn't get caught from behind.
Williams holds several titles already: record-setting running back, All-American, and Ghilardi Trophy winner. But today he adds another title: Elmhurst College Blue Jay backer Hall of Famer.
Having digital media skills is going to make a student, when they graduate, more employable. Whether they were a digital media major or a biology major, they're going to have the skills that they need to be able to tell a digital story. So they will all take a course called Digital Storytelling and a course called Story Structure. It requires communication and collaboration and innovation, and these are skills that they will be able to take with them whether they continue to work on a media project, whatever field they go into, or just life itself.
Embark on a journey to a new future with an advanced degree from Elmhurst College. Whether you want to take your career to the next level or discover an entirely new direction, Elmhurst College has a graduate program for you.
12% of our population have a master's degree. We're in a period of specialized master's degrees.
The advanced degree is a time to get more specific into some areas that you're interested in.
I believe that when you're looking for a graduate degree, you have to be ready.
You need to do some exploration up front to get some idea of what's possible, what people on the outside want and are interested in, and to begin to think about how that may match with your own abilities and interests.
Spend some time thinking about what they're passionate about, what they really enjoy, and what they want to learn more about.
But it's people that may want to better themselves in their career. They might want to look to another industry or maybe even another career. But many are coming just for that personal achievement. It's something they always wanted to do.
At Elmhurst, we believe the educational journey should be student-centered. You'll notice that difference from the moment you connect with us. You'll join a network of professionals and peers who will support you throughout your studies and your career, connecting you with employers all over the Chicago area. You'll hit the ground running, tested, proven, and ready.
I think part of the reason that a person would want to go to graduate school is so that they can get launched into their professional niche. We're able to really get to know our students personally and professionally and really challenge them, push them, and support them in all the ways that graduate students need support.
And we're also in a good position to help you clarify for yourself what your goals are, what your strengths are, what the possible matches might be for when you're done, and we will work with you to do that. So that sort of personal touch, I think, is more than just a saying here. I think it's very real in the way that we relate and interact with all of our students.
And we also help with job placement. The CPE, the Center for Professional Excellence, has been good in helping with resume building, job interviews, whatever it may take.
Our program directors will support you through every step of your journey. Elmhurst faculty aren't just experts in their fields, they're dedicated to expanding your reach with fieldwork, professional connections, and real-world experiences.
We know you. I, as program director, know every single individual who's in the program. I know why they're here. I know what they're looking to do. I know their stories. I know when situations come up that might require us to be a bit flexible and adaptable.
We really have a lot of fun, and we're really good at supporting our students through this rigorous program.
The teachers are phenomenal. I can't ask for it.
And welcome back to Langhorse Field as we get settled in for third quarter action here. We are delighted that you're logged on to BlueJayTV.com. Blue Jay Lacrosse action here from Langhorse Field, and so far so good. 9-3 is your halftime score here. Blue Jays looking for their first win of the season here, their home opener. Looking for their first ever win against Aurora University. They are 0-6 against the Spartans' lifetime. Big story in the first half was Sante Dybowski. He had 5 of the 9 Blue Jays goals. 4 other Blue Jays to score. 3 of them were freshmen. Russell Langston had a goal. Ben Luke had a goal. Jake Grieb had a goal. And the senior, Andrew Lentz, also had a goal for Elmhurst. Spartans scored first, led 1-0, but then 7 unanswered goals by the Blue Jays. They led 7-1. The Spartans, with 2 quick goals, made it 7-3, but then 2 quick goals by the Blue Jays at the end of the first half, and that's where we're at right now. 9-3 Blue Jays as the third quarter is underway. The face-off controlled by the Spartans. Blue Jays back on defense here as we settle in here for this third quarter. Dybowski had 2 goals in the first quarter, 3 more goals in the second quarter. Mentioned earlier, he came into this game with just 3 goals, so now he has 8 on the season so far. Non-conference battle here between Elmhurst and AU. Of course, the Blue Jays in the CCIW conference. Aurora University out of the Midwest Lacrosse Conference. Both teams finished in second place in their respective conferences a year ago. Loose ball, and it's going to go out of bounds to the Blue Jays here. Luke in possession here for Elmhurst. One of the 3 freshmen who scored in the first half. Boy, Luke has had a really nice season so far from North Bend, Washington, just a freshman. Nordman now passes it off to Juhas. Yandal behind the cage. Boy, he is so valuable behind there because of his passing ability. Leads the team in assists. Turn and the shot and a save. Shot by Dybowski as he's looking for his 6th goal. Couldn't quite get it. Still 9-3 Blue Jays here. Opening moments of this third quarter. Gorgeous Sunday afternoon here in Elmhurst. We are delighted that you're logged on to BlueJayTV.com. Blue Jay Lacrosse here this afternoon. Mark Morrell, the head coach. Spent 5 seasons as an assistant coach at Wittenberg. Did Coach Morrell. Here's Hill now as they bring it back out on top to Morrison. And getting the pass and shooting on the curl was number 7. That was Josh Boyko. Blue Jays have the ball now. Trying to track it down before it goes out of bounds there was Nick McClary. And ball is down on the ground. Nyberg couldn't come up with it. AU, though, is going to scoop it up, and he's got the ball. That is Bernstein. Bernstein ahead on top. Oh, what a save by Delgado on the shot on goal by Toll. And the goal is good, however, by Bernstein as he recovers it. Bernstein picks up his second goal of the game. As you see the shot, Delgado, he couldn't cover it up. And the ball is loose, and Bernstein just kind of slapped at it, and he gets it into the goal. So first goal of the third quarter coming from AU, and that's Bernstein's second goal of the game to make it 9-4. So good save by Delgado, but he just couldn't cover it up, and the ball was just hit out of the air by Bernstein, and the freshman gets his second goal of the game for the Spartans to make it 9-4. AU has won most of the face-offs, and then we'll see what happens here on this face-off here. And again, this one is going to be controlled by the Spartans. Well, that's one thing that the Blue Jays did so well last year is win the face-off battle. That has not happened this year so far, however. Delgado covers it up. They flip it back to the goalkeeper. Brings it back to McClary. McClary back to Delgado. Now they work it to the near side of the field to Marbs. Marbs pass a little too high, intended for Nordman. Loose ball, and it's picked up by AU. So the Blue Jays turn it over. However, they get it right back. There is a flag down, and now a stoppage of play. And we'll see who the penalty is against. Might be against AU. It is first, I believe. Well, now let's see who comes over. It looks like Yandal is going to come over, and it is a hold against Marcus Yandal. So another penalty against Elmhurst, and that will bring up a man-up situation again for the Spartans. So a hold against Marcus Yandal. He'll take a knee here with 10:41 to go. Boy, the wind's starting to whip up a little bit again here. Again, coming from the south, from the bottom to the top of your monitor. So sort of a crosswind here. Morrison works it here to the near wing. Back to him at the point. Into the crease area, ball is loose, and it's picked up by Delgado. So AU with the turnover. Now this is Nyberg. Trent Nyberg stops, retreats a little bit, now throws a deep pass, and it's going to be picked off. Well, now there's a loose ball, and the Blue Jays come away with it. Freerich has it. Andrew Freerich gives it up to the wing. Now behind the cage is Luke to Yandal. Yandal on the wing. Shoots, and the save by Gianelli. Boy, Yandal had a really good look at it here on the wing. See if he can get another look at it here as he's got the ball right now. Brings it back up top to Freerich. Yandal working the shot clock here. And the Blue Jays being very patient on this possession. Freerich lost it. Ball down, and it's picked up by the Spartans. So a turnover for the Blue Jays. Now on the attack is Gakin, and now trying to track it down is Toll. He cannot. The Spartans turn it right back over. Trent Nyberg has possession of the ball, and he's going to bring it up for Elmhurst. Flips it up to Juhas. Juhas gives it over to Nordman. Five-goal lead here for the Blue Jays, 9-4, as we are approaching the 8-minute mark of this third quarter. Yandal couldn't quite handle it, although the Blue Jays get possession of it. Shooting and scoring from the point is Ben Luke. Luke, the freshman, gets his second goal of the game, and it is now 10-4 in favor of the Blue Jays. Boy, a lot of power by the freshman from about 15 yards out. Jake Grebe will get the assist. Second goal of the game for the freshman, Ben Luke. So each team now scoring a goal here in this third quarter. The lead is back up to 6, 10-4 Blue Jays. 7:52 remaining. And a violation, and so AU has the ball right now. So again, the Blue Jays do not win a face-off. Morrison directing the offense as he flips it over to Bernstein. Bernstein brings it behind the net here for the Spartans. Slips as he's trying to make a move. Passes it back to Morrison. Back at the top is Kennedy. Morrison trying to use a screen. It really wasn't there. Morrison trying to get a shot off. Good defense by the Blue Jays as they double teamed him momentarily. Streaking in, getting the shot in. The shot on goal by Mozinski is wide to the right. Bernstein controls behind the cage now for AU. 6:46 remaining. And now the officials stopping play here as they're discussing things. They want to set the shot clock to 28, it looks like. And there we go. 28 seconds on the shot clock for the Spartans. 6:48 on the game clock here. We're in the third quarter. We're glad you're logged on to BlueJayTV.com. Mark Kruger, Dennis Bergen up here as well, our producer and director, camera operator. Bringing you Blue Jay Lacrosse from Langhorst Field. It's the season home opener here for the Blue Jays. And boy, they have been playing well here today. Lead at 10-4. Shot at the point by Harrison Kennedy. And Kennedy gets it through to make it 10-5.
Scoring for the Spartans, number 1, Harrison Kennedy.
First goal of the game for Kennedy. And for Kennedy, that is his fourth goal of the season. Unassisted, that makes it 10-5 in favor of the Blue Jays. 6:32 remaining here in the third quarter. Braden King on the faceoff here for the Blue Jays against Griffin. And this time the Blue Jays do get control off the faceoff. King with the ball. Gives it off to Dybowski. Consante with 5 first-half goals here for Elmhurst. Blue Jays lead at 10-5 here. Coming up on the 6-minute mark of the third. Nordman gives it to Freerich. Back to Nordman. Boy, AU really packing it in defensively. Freerich trying to get close. Luke with a shot wide to the left. Ben Luke looking for his third goal of the game. Take another look at it here off the wing. Nice shot just wide to the left. Blue Jays retain possession, however. Here's Luke. free. Rich lost his footing a little bit. Good defense that time by the Spartans as they really collapsed on Dykowski to get the ball. So the Blue Jays turn it over. And now into the offensive end is the Spartans here, trailing by 5. Morrison back in along with Mozinski for the Spartans. Ryan Moran, number 22, comes in defensively for the Blue Jays. Also back in is number 12, Bernstein, for the Spartans. Andrew Lentz back in defensively for Elmhurst. Mozinski, nothing there, pushed out by Moran. Kennedy lost possession. It goes behind the cage. AU retains possession. That's Toll. Up top, Morrison. Morrison takes the shot wide to the right. 4:23 left to play here in the third. Shot clock is at 19. And a loose ball, ground ball. Dykowski and picks up the ground ball. Blue Jays ball here. Slips as he tried to make the move to get to the middle of the field. Ball down in the ground and possessed now by AU. Dakin gives it ahead to Canaday. And Canaday is going to stop and wait for his teammates to gather. Brings it up top to Morrison. Under 4 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Morrison got cut off. Goes to the middle, gets bumped by Lentz. And a shot and a goal by Morrison. So Morrison, who got the first goal of the game, comes up with his second goal to make it 10-6. Tenth goal of the season for James Morrison. 3:41 to go, and I was going to say the momentum perhaps shifting a little bit. Mark Morrell calling another timeout here. And it is now 10-6 as the Spartans have fought their way back, trailing now by just 4 here. With 3:41 remaining here in the third. Take another look at the shot by Morrison as it gets through Delgado. So second goal of the game for Morrison to make it 10-6. And while we got an opportunity, we'd like to remind everybody to log on this Saturday night at 5 o'clock as John Baines and the Blue Jays men's basketball team will play a NCAA Division III Sweet 16 game this Saturday against Pomona Pitzer of California. And I'll bring that game to you live here on BlueJayTV.com. NCAA Division III men's basketball tournament Sweet 16 game as Elmhurst defeated Grove City in the second round, 84-66, to advance to the Sweet 16 round. Jake Rohde had a game-high 33 points. He also had 6 rebounds and 4 assists in that game against Grove City. He shot 12 of 21 from the floor, 6 of 13 from behind the arc. So you can either log on to BlueJayTV.com or else come to R.A. Faginal Hall live in person Saturday, 5 o'clock, opening tip. If you're going to come to the game in person, I suggest you get there fairly early because we are anticipating a pretty good crowd on hand. Again, Saturday night, Sweet 16 round, Elmhurst and Pomona Pitzer. And we'll bring that to you live here on BlueJayTV.com. We thank you for logging on here this afternoon. Blue Jays Lacrosse, Mark Morrell's ball club, looking for its first win of the season. They come in with a record of 0-5. The Spartans of Aurora University 2-3 overall. It'll be King and Griffin on the face-off here with 3:41 to play here in the third quarter. Blue Jays lead it by 4, 10-6. AU wins the face-off. Griffin takes it all the way, shoots, saved by Delgado. Bounces back to Toll, and Toll will bring it out, and the Spartans will set up the offense. Mozinski, he's got Morrison behind him, and that's who he flips it to. Bernstein now on the near wing. Behind the net to Toll. Three minutes remaining here in this third quarter. Canada's shot is good. Harrison Canada connecting for AU. And that makes it 10-7. Second goal of the quarter for Harrison Canada.
He's assisted on the play by number 26, Kellen Mozinski.
The assist to Kellen Mozinski. And hold everything, folks. 2:55 remaining here in the third. The Spartans now trailing by just 3. Wow. 3 straight goals for AU. 2 by Harrison Canada. And in the middle of his 2 goals was a goal by James Morrison. Elmhurst wins the face-off. Boy, that was a big face-off here. Final moments of the third quarter winding down here. Blue Jays lead it, but they only lead by 3, 10-7. Figures to be another close one. Again, last year, AU won 7-6. The Blue Jays had a shot in the final seconds of the game to tie it up, but a save by Philip Gianelli, the goalkeeper, preserved the victory for AU. Freerich. Nothing there for Ben Luke. Brings it back up top. Freerich as the Spartan. Freerich scores! Andrew Freerich scores from the point. Boy, that was a huge goal. It comes with 2:04 left. With 2:04 left, Andrew Freerich, the all-conference performer from a year ago, pours it in, and that makes it now 11-7. For Freerich, his 4th goal of the season. So the lead is back up now to 4 for Elmhurst, 11-7. With 2:04 left to play here in the third. And the Blue Jays get another face-off. Here's Marcus Yandal. Yandal is going to sprint behind the net. Up top here is Nordman. 1:38 remaining here in the quarter as Nordman rolls it on the ground to Freerich. Shot, and the goal, the shot by Ben Luke is a little bit high. Take another look at it here. Luke left wide open. Boy, that was a good shot. Just a little bit high. And now AU in possession. Trailing by 4. Well, this has been a good battle here this afternoon. Glad you're logged on from Langhorse Field, Elmhurst, and Aurora University. Men's lacrosse. Both teams off to slow starts, but both teams have played very good competition. Elmhurst 0-5, Aurora University 2-3 coming into this afternoon's game. That shot by Mozinski wide to the right. Under a minute to play here in the third. Blue Jays looking for a stop here and hoping to take a 4-goal lead into the fourth quarter. 40 seconds to go. Kennedy looking for the hat trick, not there. His shot was a little bit high. Harrison with 2 goals here in this third quarter, looking for his third, wasn't there. Shot clock has been turned off. 25 seconds to go here in the quarter. Loose ball is picked up by McClary. Here's Nordman directing traffic. 10 seconds to go in the quarter. Nordman spins on Morrison. Behind the cage, Yandal, he got cut off. And the shot by Dybowski, but it was after the horn had sounded. So 3 quarters complete here from Langhorst Field. Elmhurst leads it by a score of 11-7 as we get ready for the fourth quarter. So the Blue Jays scored 2 goals in that third quarter. The Spartans scored 4 goals in the third quarter. 4-goal lead for the Blue Jays here as we head into the final 15 minutes of this one. Sante Dybowski has 5 goals for the Blue Jays. All 5 of his goals coming in the first half. So he was held scoreless in that third quarter. Next game for the Blue Jays, they'll be on the road this Tuesday, March 10th at DePaul. That's DePaul with a W from Indiana. That'll be a 7 o'clock first face-off. And then the Blue Jays will be at home here on March 14th against Alma. That is a 1 o'clock face-off. Again, just a reminder, this Saturday, Blue Jay men's basketball team made it to the Sweet 16 round of the Division III NCAA men's basketball tournament. They will play at 5 o'clock against Pomona Pitzer from R.A. Fagnall Hall. And we will bring you that game live here on BlueJayTV.com. This Saturday, 5 o'clock from R.A. Fagnall Hall, Blue Jay basketball. John Baines and the Blue Jays, their non-conference portion of their schedule, they went undefeated this season. That is something that they have not done in the history of Blue Jay basketball, is go undefeated in their non-conference portion of the schedule. Of course, won the CCIW conference tournament and now winning 2 straight NCAA tournament games. So we'll be looking forward to bringing you that game again Saturday, 5 o'clock. Men's basketball from R.A. Fagnall Hall. Fourth quarter just about ready to get going here from Langhorst Field. Braden King and Ryan Griffin on the face-off here to start the fourth quarter. And they stop the play 7 seconds into the quarter, a violation, and it's going to be the Blue Jays that are going to come away with it. So Elmhurst will get the first offensive possession of the fourth quarter. Boy, if they could notch one more goal, that would give them a 5-goal lead and really put the Spartans in a deep hole. Big possession here. Freerich had a big goal at the end of that third quarter for the Blue Jays. Has it. Looks like Elmer's going to be pretty patient on this offensive set. Yandal. And now they bring it up top to Freerich. Pretty good defense by the Spartans. Shot clock at 30. Losing the ball was Luke, but he got it back. Freerich lost control, got it back, however. Shot clock down to 10. And the shot, no good by Ben Luke. And shot clock is at 7. Was not reset. Loose ball, Nordman. And the loose ball is going to be picked up, and it's going to be Spartans ball here. So AU's first possession of this fourth quarter. (11-7). Blue Jays lead it by 4. Again, Aurora University scored the very first goal of the game, but then 7 unanswered goals by the Blue Jays. Elmhurst led 7-1. Spartans scored a couple of goals to make it 7-3. Then Elmhurst added a couple of goals to make it 9-3 at halftime. Shot, and a ground ball is going to go to AU here. Morrison now surveying the defense, flips it out on top. Bernstein stops, now starts again. They bring it behind the cage, up top. This time to Mozinski, and we've got a whistle and they want to reset the shot clock here, so they do here. 12-11 to go here in the game. Kennedy inching closer now. It's not there. Over here to the near wing, and they turn it over. Pass intended for Toll, and now it's the Blue Jays with possession. Just over 3 minutes have gone by here in this fourth quarter. Delgado, the goalkeeper, brings it up himself. Here's Moran. Yandal behind the cage. Over here to Dybowski. Dybowski waits for substitutions to get in, and while he's waiting, he dropped it. However, Nordman comes up with a loose ball, picks up the ground ball. And Nordman brings it to Yandal behind the cage. Blue Jays slowing things down here in this fourth quarter, trying to use up as much of the shot clock as they can here. We're already approaching the 11-minute mark. Luke thought about penetrating, but instead backed it out. Just over 4 minutes have gone by already here in this fourth quarter. Shot clock down to 6. Shot by Nordman is deflected, and it's picked up by the Spartans. Coming away with it is Joseph Day for the Spartans. Day gets it across midfield into the offensive zone for the Spartans, and now he'll bring it out. Blue Jays by 4, 11-7. Here's Morrison now with momentum, stops. And the shot and the goal is good by Harrison Canaday. So Canaday gets his 3rd goal of the game, the assist by Mozinski. So Canaday with his 3rd goal of the game, and the Spartans are within 3. (10-11) remaining. AU making a game out of it here. So Canaday with his 3rd goal of the game, his 6th goal of the season, and the Spartans are within 3. And that face-off won by Elmhurst. The last time AU was within 3 was with 1:06 to go in the first quarter when the Blue Jays led 4-1. Just under 10 minutes to play here in this game. Blue Jays by 3. 11-8. Yandal, the skip pass over here to Nordman. Nordman's shot is good. Big goal that time by Cullen Nordman as he goes top right. And Nordman gets the goal for Elmhurst to make it 12-8. The lead is back up to 4. Marcus Yandal getting yet another assist here. I believe that's the third assist of the game for Marcus. And for Yandal, that is his 11th assist of the season. So Yandal with the assist, give the goal to Cullen Nordman. And the Blue Jays lead now is 4. Big goal by Nordman, 12-8. Goal number 6 of the season for Nordman. Couldn't come at a bigger time for the Blue Jays. Elmhurst leads it by 4, 12-8. Ball down on the ground. The ground ball picked up by the Blue Jays. That was the freshman, Ben Luke, who came up with the ground ball. So Aurora with a costly turnover. And now it's Nordman, and it looks like the Blue Jays will run some clock. We are at the 9-minute mark. It's a 4-goal lead. Still plenty of time left for the Spartans, who trail by 4. And another shot and a goal by Nordman. Unassisted by Nordman, so back-to-back goals by Nordman. Makes it 13-8, and now a 5-goal lead for the Blue Jays. Let's take another look at the goal by Cullen Nordman, his second of the game, as he gets congratulated by Jake Grebe. Boy, back-to-back huge goals by Cullen Nordman. As we take another look at it here, Cullen, nice little spin move that time. And it gets by Gianelli. So a 5-goal lead now for the Blue Jays as they entered the fourth quarter with a 4-goal lead. 8:46 remaining. Two wins for Aurora University this season. They beat Augustana to start the season 10-8. And they also beat Johnson and Wales on March 1st. Their 3 losses, Illinois Wesleyan, Colorado College, and also John Carroll back a couple of days ago on March 5th. Spartans finished 13-4 a year ago. Meanwhile, the Blue Jays were 11-6 last season. As I mentioned earlier, 2 years ago, the Blue Jays finished 13-3. 3 years ago, a game under 500, 8-9. I mentioned earlier that Coach Morrell was an assistant at Wittenberg. During his time as an assistant, Wittenberg and Mark Morrell won back-to-back North Coast Athletic Conference championships. So Coach Morrell has found success wherever he has been, and he has elevated this Blue Jay program. As the Blue Jays are looking for their first win of the season, here their home opener here at Langhorst Field. They win that face-off. And now it's Dykowski working it behind the cage here. 8.5 minutes remaining. So time starting to become a factor now. Blue Jays by 5. Nordman. Back-to-back goals by Nordman has given the Blue Jays this 5-goal lead. Spartans cut the lead down to 3. It was 11-8, but as I mentioned, Nordman with the 2 big goals. And now it's a Blue Jay 5-goal lead. And that shot was wide to the right, but the Blue Jays possess the ball here. 7:50 remaining. Here's Nordman. Gives it off to McAdams, and this one is going to go out, but it's going to be Blue Jay ball here. 7:33 left. The shot clock is down to 13. So the Blue Jays certainly using most of the shot clock here in this fourth quarter. Shot clock down to 5. And it's going to be a shot clock violation as Luke McAdams couldn't quite get the shot off. So the turnover for the Blue Jays. AU's ball here as we are at the 7-minute mark now of the ball game. And Nitin Rao, the referee, coming over to the scorer's table. They want to change the clock to 7:15, I believe. The clock is currently at 7:04. And now they change it. 7:15 left to play here in the game. You're logged on to BlueJayTV.com. Elmhurst and Aurora University lacrosse action. Mark Kruger delighted to bring you all the action here this afternoon as AU turns it over. Andrew Lentz now in possession for the Blue Jays, and undoubtedly Elmhurst will try to run some clock here as we are under 7 minutes to go. Blue Jays by 5. Andrew Freerich comes back into the game. He's got the ball now at the point for the Blue Jays. Freerich gets checked. Ground ball picked up by Dybowski. Ball loose in the crease area, and the Spartans come away with it. So the Blue Jays turn it over. We got a whistle and a stoppage of play here. Oh, and the Spartans are going to turn the ball over. So Blue Jay ball here with 6.5 left. Another costly turnover for the Spartans here. And a fresh shot clock for the Blue Jays. Nate Uhas is at the point, number 15 for Elmhurst. Out on the wing here is Nordman. Up top to Uhas. Nordman with a shot and the save by Gianelli. Nordman looking for his third goal of the quarter. And we are at the 6-minute mark now of this one. New shot clock, though, for the Blue Jays. Boy, at some point, the Spartans are going to have to come out defensively, apply a little bit more pressure. Nordman gets inside. Freerich shot is no good. Andrew Freerich went hard down to the turf. 5:43 left. And again, the Blue Jays working it around. Five and a half minutes left. Boy, the Blue Jays have done a great job of possessing the ball here in this fourth quarter. Holding on to a 5-goal lead, looking for their first win of the season. Freerich with the pass and the goal by Marcus Yundal. Freerich is going to get the assist. Marcus Yundal with the goal, his first goal of the game, 10th goal of the season for Marcus Yundal, and that should just about put the nail in the coffin here, although there is 5:13 left to play. The lead is now 6. Great pass by Freerich. Yundal in perfect position with the wrist flipper and the goal. King and Griffin on the face-off here. 5:13 left. And Griffin is going to come away with the face-off win for the Spartans. Well, they're going to turn the ball over here, although it's a ground ball, and it is going to be picked up, however, by Boyko of the Spartans. AU with the ball down by 6. 14-8 with 4:43 left. And ahead, and the shot and the goal by Josh Boyko, but they are wave it off. The ball is into the possession of Elmhurst here. It's still 14-8 with 4:30 remaining. Delgado with a great save. Behind the net goes Yandal. Flips it over there to Dybowski as they bring it up top to Grebe. And now it is Nordman. Blue Jays can run nearly another minute off the clock here. We are at the 4-minute mark of this one, and they have a 6-goal lead. McAdams flips it to Grebe. And getting inside and scoring is number 16. That's Ben Luke. And the score is now 15-8 in favor of the Blue Jays. Third goal of the game for Luke. The assist going to Jake Grebe. And so the freshman, Ben Luke, with another goal to make it 15-8 Blue Jays. Ben Luke, again, only a freshman, having himself a fine game. 3 goals here this afternoon for him. Blue Jays get another face-off. King has possession, now flips it over to the wing to the freshman Luke. And Luke will retreat and bring it to Nordman. And now Nordman looks over his shoulder to making sure nobody is around. Flips it to Freerich. Over here on the near wing is Uhas. Looks back quickly at Mark Morrell. Under 3 minutes remaining here in this one. Uhas gets checked. Now he works it behind the cage. Freerich on the wing. Spins. Shoots. And it's wide to the right. 2:40 left. Yandal on the restart. Marcus working it around. Curling. Now it's not there. Flips it over to Luke. His shot and the save by Gianelli. Nice wrister there by Ben Luke, but a nice save by the sophomore Gianelli. 2:20 left. And AU turning it over here, and an opportunity now for the Blue Jays to possess and run some more clock, but we've got a ground ball and a push, and it's going to be Blue Jays on the restart. Blue Jay ball. Yandal in possession and another whistle, and Yandal stepped out of bounds, it looks like. It'll be AU ball here. Under 2 minutes to go. Blue Jays will win their first game of the season and their first game ever against Aurora University. They'll be 1-6 now against AU Lifetime. They'll be 1-5 overall, will the Blue Jays, on this young season. Bernstein lost control. Bernstein battling for it. We got a whistle. And they reset the shot clock here. Spartans ball here with just over a minute to go. Spartans will fall to 2 and 4 on the year. Morrison on the wing. Passed up on the shot. Takes the shot in the middle in the crease area, and he gets it to go. So Morrison, unassisted, gets a late goal here for the Spartans to make it 15-9. Comes with just 62 seconds left to play. So Morrison, who scored the very first goal of this game, perhaps scores the last goal of this game. 1:02 left, 15-9 in favor of the Blue Jays. Now the two officials are discussing things here. I think he's looking up at the clock. They want to put a couple more seconds back up on the clock. I think they want 1 minute and 5 seconds left to go. So they add 3 more seconds and we're ready to go. Could be the final face-off of the ball game. If the Blue Jays win this face-off, they can theoretically just run the clock out. And they do win the face-off. It is Braden King winning the face-off for Elmhurst. And so under a minute remaining, Russell Langston, number 2 at the point, gets it to Yandal. Jake Grebe now back into the game. Boy, the Blue Jay crowd on its feet, giving the Blue Jays a standing ovation here as the final seconds winding down from Langhorst Field. So the home opener for the Blue Jays is a victorious one. Elmhurst will get the victory here today against a very, very tough AU Spartans team in a non-conference battle. .14 seconds remaining. Luke Richardson, number 40, in there for the Blue Jays. Spinning is Jake Grebe behind the cage. 4 seconds remaining in the game. Final seconds winding down, and your final score from Langhorst Field. The Blue Jays win it by a score of 15-9 to get their first win of the season. 5 first-half goals by Sante Dybowski, and the Blue Jays get the victory here this afternoon. So that will do it from Langhorst Field. Again, your final score. Blue Jays win it 15-9. Elmhurst now 1-5 overall. The Spartans are 2-4. Again, your final score. Blue Jays win it 15-9. We thank you again for logging on to BlueJayTV.com. This is Mark Kruger. Have a great afternoon. So long, everybody.